Welcome to Bible in the Backyard. Here we are in chapter 10 in the book of Deuteronomy. And in this chapter we have a lot of love. We are commanded to love God. We are told that God loves us. We're commanded to love the stranger. What do you make of that theme of love? Are all the loves in this chapter the same? Talk a little bit about love.
That's great. So, extreme emotions, we basically don't have the vocabulary for extreme emotions. We've never developed it, right? I mean, we talk about love in English. We talk about, love for one's parents or parents' love for one's children, love of one's spouse or partner, love of chocolate cake, love of that TV show. I mean, these are obviously vastly different emotions. Sometimes you can rank them, but sometimes they're just different. But we don't have a fine-tuned vocabulary to distinguish these things. When I was a kid, I used to say things like, I hate math, and my mom would say, no, we hate Nazis. We dislike math. But that's like it's an inability. We just don't have a very robust vocabulary. I strongly feel something positive, I say love. Strongly feel something negative, I say hate. There's a lot of nuance being lost there.
So how are we supposed to gather the nuance?
Yeah, biblical scholars talk about ahav in Dvarim in particular, especially in loving God, as a covenantal. John Levinson has a recent book about this, where he sort of disputes some of the conventional wisdom, but that love is used in treaties, and it doesn't really have anything to do with emotions. It has to do with loyalty at the end. So it's all about actions, not emotions. Levinson thinks that's not right, that emotions are clearly at play. And I think that's really, I think I would just want to emphasize that the way it's been taken, when Maimonides talks about loving God, he talks about literally coming to love God. It's sexist, so he talks about, he assumes he's talking to a man, loving God the way that you would love a woman. This sort of erotic passion that's actually, you can't think about anything else. You can't get your mind off of the object of your love. So that's obviously, that may or may not be the pshat, the original context of our text in Deuteronomy 10, but that is one of the primary ways in which it's been used in Jewish thought. Loving God is really something profound and transcendent, and of course we have to put that in human terms to make sense of it.
And it needs commentary, right? To understand just love on its own terms in this chapter doesn't give it its full fruition of what it can be in actualizing that feeling, right? So we need the commentary, we need the drash, we need the kind of real life lived existence to be able to fully understand what it means.
Right, we need just categories that are familiar to us in order to make sense of it. And I think it's also clear that whatever to love the ger, love the stranger means, it's not that, right? No one's asking you to erotically and passionately love every stranger that one meets. That's presumably something much more mundane and run-of-the-mill, even though it's a transcendently important commandment. The emotions are presumably a totally different category. So you're right, I mean, the terminology I think is limited, but that's true I think because of humans. Like, we have actually a hard time expressing what exactly we mean in these very powerful emotions.
Thank you.
Thank you.